Hey guys, I had a follower bring up the idea that the middle market production business should be it should be law that you be licensed and insured, and I'll even go as far as to say some form of regulated, just because of the safety things that are in place here. Most bar owners and bands that are hiring production guys have no idea the risk that they're taking if they're using someone who doesn't have a business license, who has no liability insurance, and then they're going to show up and deploy high-end electrical systems, sound systems, light rigs, things like that, hang stuff over your head, that sort of thing, and there's no liability insurance. And I mean, I know a bunch of guys out there flying under that flag. The whole ankle biter scene is usually like that. Everything's all fine and good, and you might like that cheap price tag until something goes wrong. If you get a trust collapse on somebody, and we see these videos online all the time where these things are happening, man, you're going to be up the creek without a paddle, my friend. So I somewhat agree with that statement. There used to be, way back in the 80s, I was just having this conversation with an agent buddy of mine the other day, where agents by law were regulated, booking agents, because they were providing staff for events the same way a temp agency does at a local factory. So they kind of fell under those same rules and that sort of stuff. It's not like that now, but it used to be that way, where there were regulations. You had to be licensed, you had to be insured, you had to have some level of competency in how to deploy, sound and lighting systems, and know basic rigging, and that sort of thing. All that stuff should be part of the equation, because we got way too many guys out here that are hanging stuff over people's heads and that are putting up systems, wiring into existing panel boxes and that sort of thing with distros, and that really have no idea what they're doing. I can't tell you how many DJs that I have met who claim to be sound engineers and have gotten themselves in some real sticky situations with that sort of stuff. You need to really be vetting the people you're hiring. Even if this isn't the case with regulation, licensing, and liability insurance, you as the buyer needs to be vetting the people that you're hiring for your gig, and make sure you're hiring someone that knows what the hell they're doing and isn't going to hurt or, God forbid, kill somebody in the process of doing what they do. It's just something to really think about, because when it turns ugly quick.